What if I told you there's a small laser that lives in your bathroom drawer, and with just a few minutes a week, it can smooth wrinkles, shrink pores, and even fade those pesky age spots? No, it's not science fiction. It's skincare for women like us over 50. I'm Glory B, and this is GloryB-TV, a lifestyle channel for mature women who want to look fabulous, feel amazing, and age gracefully. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And if you enjoy this video, please tap the thumbs up button. If you want to make sure you don't miss any of my future videos, sign up for my newsletter. I send it about twice a month. I'll have a link to it in the description box and in the first comment. If you're anything like me, you've probably looked in the mirror and thought, "Ugh, when did I get all these things changing on my face? The fine lines, the uneven skin tone, maybe even sagging that just wasn't there before." And sure, we know professional lasers can help, but let's be honest, those in-office procedures are expensive, a little intimidating, and not something most of us want to keep paying for. That's why I got so curious about the DermRays Revive. It's an at-home laser that's been clinically tested, and over time, it can actually rebuild collagen, fade pigmentation, smooth texture, and soften wrinkles. Now, the best part, you can do it yourself right at home without spending thousands. I'm 65 years old now, and at this age, changes are happening from head to toe faster than I can keep up with it. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what this device is, how it works, and whether it might be the right choice for you. If you've been looking for a way to refresh your skin without breaking the bank or making it complicated, you're in the right place. Let's take a quick look at the technology in the Revive laser. Now, this device uses a 1064 nanometer wavelength, delivering up to 10 joules per centimeter squared of power directly into your dermis. This means real collagen stimulation, less melasma and pigmentation, smoother texture, tighter skin, minimize pores, and reduce wrinkles and redness. Now, in the past, I reviewed the NIRA Pro device. Now, the NIRA Pro is 1450 nanometers and is clinically proven to reduce fine lines and wrinkles, but it's not clinically proven to improve skin tone or to reduce melasma and pigmentation. The DermRays Revive laser, being a 1064 nanometer laser, doesn't go as deep as the NIRA Pro, but the Revive, through a clinical trial, was shown to regenerate collagen, reduce melasma and pigmentation, improve skin texture, minimize pores, fade acne scars, tighten skin, and reduce wrinkles. In fact, a 28-participant clinical trial where the subjects were ages 33 to 59 over 56 days showed that 93% saw smoother, tighter skin. 96% saw fewer wrinkles, brighter tone, refined pores, and reduced pigmentation and melasma. The DermRays Revive is also FDA cleared, so you know it's safe to use. It's about 200 times more powerful than LED masks, and it uses a uniform beam, not fractional, so it targets skin evenly. The other difference between the DermRays Revive and the NIRA Pro is that you plug in the Revive every time you use it. In other words, you don't charge it separately. Now, the NIRA Pro is charged, and actually there have been reports of the device suddenly not taking a charge, so you can only use it for a minute or so, and then it stops. But the Revive, since you plug it in to use it, it won't have a battery problem like chargeable devices can get. Now let's look at how I use the Revive. There are 3 levels to use with the device, and the company suggests that we all start at level 1. The DermRays company told me later the device and their instructions are designed specifically and especially for people with ultra-sensitive skin. So if you find your skin is handling level 1 just fine, after a few uses at that level, you can move on to level 2 and shortly thereafter to level 3. Now, personally, I think I could have moved more quickly than I did from level 1 to 2 and from level 2 to level 3. They suggest you use the Revive 3 times a week for the first 2 weeks, then 2 times a week for weeks 3, 4, and 5, and then to use it once a month after that. But after I reached week 5, I still use it twice a week, and they told me that's fine since my skin isn't reacting in any way, like in a negative way. My skin has responded just fine. In fact, going over my notes from the DermRays rep, she wrote the following. You're currently using it twice a week at level 3, which is great. You can safely increase the frequency if your skin feels comfortable. Our standard protocol is designed for ultra-sensitive skin, but in general, these types of beauty devices respond better with more frequent use. As long as you leave at least 24 hours between sessions, you can also give extra attention to targeted areas. For example, going over the upper lip 3 to 4 times in one session is fine as long as you don't experience irritation afterward. Now, I prefer to use the Revive at night. You start with a clean, dry face, plug in the device, power it on by pressing and holding the on-off button until you hear a sound. Now, it takes a few seconds for it to be fully on, and it defaults to level 1, which you see at the top. To change the level, you press the power button to go to level 2 and press it again to go to level 3. So the level is shown in the lights on the top of the device. And when you're ready to use it, you press the lower button, which they call the standby ready button, to switch from standby to ready. The laser will start when you touch the treatment window to your skin. It has a skin sensor on it so that the laser only becomes active when that piece is touching your skin. You'll also see this cooling light appearing below the buttons. When the Revive is turned on, the cooling feature is always on, and you'll sense it when the device touches your skin. There's heat and there's cooling all at the same time to ensure it's never too hot on your skin. I love that about this laser device. There's a handy table in the user manual on page 2, which lists what you can use the Revive on, and that includes your crow's feet lines, nasolabial folds, enlarged pores, veins, dyschromia, pigmentation, such as melasma and freckles, and pimples. But it says, well, it's okay to use on pimples to not place the laser on a spot during the inflammatory period of a breakout. Now, I avoid the area directly under my eyes. When you touch your face with the laser, you can either use a stamping motion or a gliding motion. I always use the stamping motion. Since I'm now going over the upper lip area 2 times in a session, I start there, do the rest of my face, and then I end there. The device makes a sound, and then I move the laser to the space on my face next to it. Now, for dark spots, they say you can do 2 to 4 pulses per spot, but you don't want to hold the laser in one spot for too long or else it will get too hot, even with the cooling feature. I don't feel anything electrical with the Revive, and like I said, it doesn't get hot in your skin. It feels slightly warm. I go over my entire face and neck, and then I do my lip area, one more time. Now, my forehead is quite bony and curved, and the laser needs a flatter surface to work well. So on my forehead, I stick with the 2 deep lines that I have. After I'm done, I press and hold the power button to turn off the device. And then I unplug it and put it away. For my post-treatment care, I layer on a serum or 2, whatever serum I'm using or testing, and then an emollient moisturizer. I don't use alpha hydroxy acids or retinols afterward. And every morning, I always apply a full spectrum sunscreen. I've been using the Revive now for about 3 months. I think it's holding my fine lines at bay, like the crow's feet and the nasal labial folds, which for a 65-year-old look pretty good. I have high hopes for my lip lines, which are deeper than other lines on my face. The pigmentation on my face is quite stubborn, and I wonder if that's because of me being a freckle face kid. I don't know. I'm full of freckles, so I might just be mitigating what could be a face with even more pigmentation if I wasn't using a laser treatment. So, what are the pros and cons of the DermRays Revive laser? Well, I would say the pros are you get powerful results at home. There's no battery to wear down. You get fast treatments with long lasting maintenance. It's safe for all skin types and it's quiet and efficient. And then I would say the cons are it's still a bit bulky and, tethered by the cord. It's somewhat tricky on very bony areas. And I told them the instruction manual could be clearer. I like to compare the cost to doing an in office laser procedure. So, an in office laser will cost you between $500 and $2,000 per session, depending on how much of your face you're doing. In office is much more intense. I asked a doctor what it would cost to get my lip area treated, and he said $500, and there is downtime of 10 to 14 days because with an in-office laser procedure, there is kind of a scary mess afterward that needs to heal. He said it lasts about 5 or 6 years, and then he said I'd have to do it again. The DermRays Revive price as I'm filming is $699, and with my coupon code applied, the price drops to $579. It has a 90-day money-back guarantee, a 2-year warranty, and worldwide shipping. The link and coupon code are in the description box below the video. Tap the word "more" 2 times to open up the box. Or if you prefer to use the first comment, tap the word "comments" and then tap the words "read more" and the first comment will open completely. You can click the link there to read more about the DermRays Revive laser. Are you ready to level up your skincare routine? This at-home laser is a great tool to add to your skincare and your skin health. I know I'm going to keep using it twice a week to keep my skin looking its best. If you want to know more about what else I do to keep my skin looking great in my mid-60s, tap one of the images on the right side of your screen and I'll see you in the next video.